What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Third and 10 podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen, joined by my guy, Brian Germinaro. Happy Thursday to y'all. Good to see you. Ryan, my friend, we got a lot to talk about today. We have a fun episode. You mentioned off air on Tuesday with our last episode about our draft that we'll be doing today, and we'll be revealing that in just a bit. But how you doing, man? What's on your
Nate,
mind?
it was a year ago today. My life changed forever
Really?
because yes, a certain purple McDonald's
Oh my
mascot
God.
decided to throw a first pitch and forever changed the trajectory of the 2024 New York Mets season. That's right. We are a year ago today. Grimace threw out the first pitch at Citi Field and changed the entire trajectory of the season. Our Purple King was born a year ago today.
Freaking McDonald's character out of all things.
He's our character now. Like, let's be honest. He is a Met now. He has a lot of popularity now. He keeps seeing him pop up. How much of that is from Met fans deciding he is a godlike figure?
Yeah. And then the other day it was like a purple sky, right?
Purple sky, yes.
Yeah. So how I saw it was someone posted it was a purple sky, but I saw Grimace up there. I was like,
yes, I know the exact picture you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. If you build it, he will come.
It was it's
Wait, what movie is that from? If you build it, he will come. Very famous sports movie. Arguably the most famous sports movie of all time.
If you build it, he will come.
Yes.
Football movie?
Nope.
Baseball movie for sure.
Yes. Yeah, that's why it's a baseball thing.
Oh yeah. Nate, come on. Field of the Sand.
I'm not helping you. This is a very well-known movie quote. I would argue it's one of the top 50 most recognizable quotes in movie history. Field of Dreams.
I was getting there. Oh my God!
Did you say it?
No, I gotta think of my gut. I gotta think of my gut next time. That's why. But okay. Hey. I was getting there. I just gotta see the freaking answer next time. Boy, that's another movie got added to the list or have to watch anyway. Mm-hmm. So we'll definitely.
Oh, it's on the list. Trust me, it's on that movie list.
I know. I know. But you do the Mets, man. We'll discuss them later. But there's so many good things going on.
They're good. Yeah, that's the only way to describe it. They're good. Best record in baseball. Exactly.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was going into this weekend because going to my first baseball game at Dodger Stadium this upcoming weekend. Thought that I was going to see a team with the best record in baseball.
Nope.
Well, not anymore because the Mets over there doing a hell of a job. And I'm excited to talk about them later because two players who have been either criticized recently or haven't been the best at all in the past have definitely shined this season or starting to heat up, I should say. One of them in particular being a player that has been heavily criticized.
For generational talent.
Yes.
Making $765 million. Yes. The fact he's hit a home run in 5 straight games at Citi Field.
I will say, literally, it's every time people talk about Juan Soto, they always mention 765. And it's just
because they're morons.
I feel like it does get annoying to you at times.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's like you guys, they're all talking about like you guys. You talk about if you did have $765 million sitting in front of you, you wouldn't take it.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
Like no one's gonna say, "Oh no, I want cheaper." Like no, like dude, do you want to? Either it's for yourself or for your family, like you're gonna take that money. So.
And it's so funny watching Yankee fans like retreat now. Like Yankee fans used to be on the attack us about Soto, comparing us to like different players, and now Met fans are starting to give it back to them. Like that comparison really held up. It's like, why are you always thinking about us? It's like you guys started
because you guys thought about us first. So
you guys started it. We're just responding to your. We're just responding because you made stupid comments. And now you're responding, and now you guys are running like you're running like scared children. Yeah. It's such a shame to see what the Yankees fan base has become. They used to be like the most feared fan base in all baseball, the bleacher creatures. Now they're just a bunch of like spoiled ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, not anymore, man. They're just Yeah, so some of them are cool, but most of them.
No, there's a big portion of Yankee fans that are cool and are like, yeah, that Soto left us, so what? But there is a portion of the fan base that is a bitter ex-girlfriend. They're the spoiled rich kid from Willy Wonka. I want an Oompa Loompa now kind of thing going on. And that's what they act like. So, it sucks for the good Yankee fans out there because you have these, even I think good Yankee fans would be like, man, like these guys was a bad look. Michael's K little minions running around.
Oh yeah, dude.
They think Michael K is gospel. It's like, no, Michael K is an egotistical moron who can't live with the fact that he's been number 2 in everything he's done in sports media, whether that be play-by-play in his own city or sports talk radio. Always number 2. He's only in his position because he would do whatever George Steinbrenner told him to do.
Yeah, I mean, I remember his comments recently, not recently, but not too long ago about Soto were just.
Not his comment. He called Met fans fleas.
There you go. Just a bunch of things he said.
He called Met fans fleas on New York on ESPN 880. Like, I may have taken a shot at Yankee fans, but this isn't a New York sports podcast. I don't need Yankee fans listening to this. When I had a New York sports show, I was never insulting fans of the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would call them out if they deserved it, but I wouldn't insult them by calling them fleas.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you?
It is what it is, man. He has a job still, which is great, but he's not the best at what he does.
He's terrible at what he does and everything.
No doubt. But yeah, we'll talk about some people in just a bit who are not too great at their jobs either. A specific NFL team. To be exact, but otherwise we'll talk about or in just a bit we'll have our worst NFL bust of all time draft. It's gonna be very exciting. Took a lot of research, took a lot of time to find players who were just not the best when they were drafted into the NFL. So we'll have that, and we'll see who. Honestly, the criteria it's wide open. Either you can have a team with just the most talented busts, or you can just have a team with complete trash. We'll find out who me and Brian have on our teams in just a bit. But yeah, we'll also talk about later on in the show the Mets, how they just keep on rolling. And then the Pacers and Thunder played game 3 last night as we are recording this. And we'll talk about
bad showing for the Thunder last night.
Hey, role players matter, man. And for the Pacers, a couple guys stepped up in a big way. So excited to talk about that towards the end of the show. But without further ado, let's get started with our first topic of the day. The Cincinnati Bengals. What the fudge is going on? Okay, so I remember when the news came out that Shamar Stewart was not going to sign his rookie contract. I think I criticized him. I'm not sure if you did really, but I did. I was like, come on, dude, you're a rookie. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. Like, just sign the contract and get on the field. Like, he wasn't practicing or whatsoever. Newsflash, he is not with the Bengals at this time. He has officially left mandatory minicamp, and for those of you who don't know, he has done so because his team and the Bengals have not agreed to any contract. The negotiations have stalled because of a very, very stupid reason on Cincinnati's part. So, for those of you who may be living under a rock, the Bengals have struggled to pay players
any defensive player,
when it came to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all Joe Burrow, and a few years ago, no problems paying them whatsoever. Well, for like you mentioned, defensive players, they said, maybe we don't want to pay you guys, and that includes Trey Hendrickson, who still remains with that contract. He is holding out until he gets a new one. And you would think, okay, maybe, if they don't sign Hendrickson, maybe they, draft the rookie and maybe sign him and maybe trade Hendrickson away. Yeah, they drafted literally a guy that could replace him, and they still haven't signed him. Why? Well, there is a dispute over the language of the contract. The Bengals, for the first time out of nowhere, this is the first time they're doing this, and honestly the first I ever heard of a team doing this. They're trying to change the language in the contract that allows the team to void future guarantees. So what the fudge does that mean? Well, I tell you, if he gets hurt, then they're protected and they can void the rest of the contract, which I get. But why? But no one does that. If you're so scared of him getting hurt and to protect yourselves, then why even draft him in the first place? And by the way, Shamar Stewart, he's been relatively healthy his entire career. The last time he got hurt in a major way was in high school. That was years ago. So, literally Stewart is not asking for anything new. He just wants the same contract like Amarius Mims, who the Bengals drafted in the first round in 2024. And defensive end Myles Murphy, who the Bengals drafted in the first round in 2023. And if you're wondering about his teammates and what they think, they are supportive of him. So this is all on the front office. And like I mentioned, I was going to say he wasn't, he won't practice until he signs his rookie contract or until the language gets changed, but he has officially left Cincinnati. So he is not with the team no longer. So
yeah.
Dude, this is a mess. Your thoughts on this?
No, this is a
holy
disaster.
Crap. Yeah.
It's a disaster, especially because the Bengals have such a need on defense. Like, it's one thing if it's an offensive player. It's like, all right, they have the skills and the depth to kind of make up for it. The defense has been what everyone's talking about all season. This needs to be upgraded. Shamar Stewart's supposed to be a part of the reason how defense is supposed to get better, especially if Trey Hendrickson hasn't signed his contract either. So Stewart's supposed to be the replacement for that. Like, this just shows how poorly run the Bengals are, how bad of an owner Mike Brown is, and that without Joe Burrow, this should just be a joke of an organization like the Browns. Like, the Bengals don't get the criticism, I think would be the word, that they deserve, because since Marvin Lewis, they've been pretty successful regular season-wise. You can say what you want about their postseason success. Hasn't been there. But at least year in and year out, they're winning 8 to 10 games a season for a good stretch of time. The only time they did it was when they got Joe Burrow. So it's just a bad look for the Bengals right now. It's really bad.
Like, I get it. You signed a new defensive coordinator, right? And Al Golden, who you know well from Notre Dame.
But you got to give him pieces.
But you can't just. He's not some miracle worker who's gonna be able to turn like backups into like stars. Like that's not how it works.
Like, Al Golden was great at Notre Dame. I don't want to understate that, but look what he was working with: Xavier Watts, Benjamin Morrison, Howard Cross III. Like, he was working with great defensive players. The Bengals don't have that. Like, Trey Hendrickson's the best, and outside of that, it's a deep fall off.
Mm-hmm. These past couple seasons, by the way, the Bengals have ranked 25th and 21st in points per game allowed on defense. So it's not pretty sad. Like, literally, the last time they were a top 10 unit was in 2022 when they went 12-4. But these past couple seasons, they went 9-8. And the defense is to blame, despite the offense being a pretty good unit themselves. It's just like, why are you doing this now? Like, why are we changing up the language and like trying to make things difficult and trying to be different?
To do. They're trying to protect themselves in case Stewart goes down, but it's such a stupid hill to die on.
Yeah, that's
like, why this player you're all of a sudden doing this for?
Yeah,
any player can blow. God forbid tomorrow Jackson Dart could blow his knee out and never play football again. But guess what? The Giants don't have aren't signing him and putting that provision in a contract. I'm sure there's something in the contract where they could get, some reimbursement or some settlement, but it's not this bad. There's not this major deal. The Giants be okay signing it without that.
Yeah, that's the risk you take, whether you're drafting a player or you sign a player to a free agent contract. You take the risk of, if they get hurt, then you're going to have to pay the price and still pay them. But there's always a risk reward with signing anyone. In any sport, football, it goes for anything.
Any sport, the player, whether you sign him or not, can blow their knee out and never touch that field for you.
Yeah.
Right. Some of the guys we're going to talk about in a little bit had that exact thing happen to them. It just happens in football.
So it's just, dude, Cincinnati just, I don't blame Shemar. Like, he has every right to do what he's doing. Same thing with Trey Hendrickson. Don't know how those contract, what the specifics of that and what's.
Do you have any optimism they're going to sign Trey Hendrickson? Because I don't.
I
think they're screwed.
I think they'll figure it out. I mean, yes, they're upset. He's upset right now with them and everything. But I think they'll figure it out because at this point, you can't be this stupid. But
And
that's just
what message does this send to other NFL players? Like, let's go to next year's free agency.
Yeah,
and the Bengals. Let's say the Bengals have the same season. They're 9-8, but they missed the playoffs by one game. Defense is atrocious again, but the offense is good. When they go to sign defensive players, these two situations are going to get brought up. Like,
oh yeah,
if you're an NFL player, why would you want to go to Cincinnati where they have a track record of treating their players badly? Like, you're shooting yourself in the foot for not just this season, but for potential free agents down the road.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna trust a team that's like putting like small but important details in the contract that I won't possibly catch. Because like let's be honest, like things like
they're trying to sneak this in is what they're trying to do.
Yeah, like the forms that like even as regular people, right? When we sign forms or when we sign like documents, like there's always little things that we may not catch at the time we sign it because we just want to sign it. But later on, it's like, oh, you signed this, and we did put this in the form. And it's like, oh, you're screwed. If Shamar's agent or whoever was looking at the contract didn't catch that, who knows what would happen? Like Cincinnati would have gotten off scot-free. I mean,
but that opens up a bigger can of worms if, God forbid, he does get hurt. And it's like, well, wait a minute, you snuck this into the deal. Like, it is partially my fault for not reading the contract, but you shouldn't be sneaking important details like that into the deal at the last second.
Yeah, and that's what happened here. And the fact that they caught it now before it was too late. Shout out to Shemar and his team, man. Like,
no, that's on him for having great lawyers and a great legal counsel, a great agency, great everything.
No doubt.
But
no doubt.
It's just such a bad like this. You don't think the NFLPA is up in arms about this right now?
Oh yeah, they're looking at this.
They're mad about this. They would be 10 times. They'd be furious if he signed that deal with that in there.
No doubt. Yeah, and to answer your question, if I'm a free agent next year thinking about going to Cincinnati, it's like either are they going to screw me over? Like I don't know.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and do I want to take the risk? And it seems like they're so freaking cheap. They have cap space. That's the thing. It's not like they're so low in cap. Like they have space to sign these players, and this is on you. Like and I remember when the Bengals they did the whole contract extensions with Chase and Higgins, and you're like, oh yeah, that's it's good to see that, but also it's going to affect the amount they get to pay defensive, the other players on the team. This is the pros and cons. Like pros, you get to keep two of the best receivers in the NFL. The con is you may not, this will create issues signing other players. And even though you do have cap, you still got to pay these, even whether it's a rookie and Stewart or a guy like Henderson, you still got to pay these guys. So it's just a matter of if they're going to freaking do it. Stewart, no doubt, will be signed because he is a rookie. I never heard a rookie never get signed before. But Hendrickson, as optimistic as of a person I am, and I'm sure they will figure it out, I am more confident in Stewart compared to Hendrickson.
But even if they figure it out, I don't think it's either going to be not as long as we originally thought, or there's going to be some sort of opt-out for Hendrickson to get out of that contract.
I think he signs in late July.
Okay.
Which is going to be long.
Before preseason? I see that. I see that.
Yeah, I think this lasts a little longer. They'll definitely will take care of Shemar first and then deal with Hendrickson later, I think. But Cincinnati.
Shemar is easy. Shemar is easier than Hendrickson.
But they can't even do the easy thing, so it's just
every team I bet has signed their first round pick by now, or if not, they're very close to.
They're working on it. Yeah,
they're working on it. There is no drama like there is here.
Yeah, thank God we signed ours. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, we signed Dart, didn't we? Yeah, we did.
We signed Dart and Carter. Yep,
and Carter. Cool. I think we haven't signed Scatterboo yet. He's the only one.
Yeah, but that's a 4th round pick. That will be bad.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. Yeah, I wonder what the whole.
And you're not hearing any drama around Scatterboo like you are Shemar.
No, we're hearing good things with our Giants so far, baby. Love to see it. Oh my God, did you see the video of the pass rush?
Yes.
Holy shit. Dude, you see Burns make a little spin move. Oh, by the way, James Hudson, I swear to God, if I see you on the field, I don't care if this was a simple drill or whatever. I swear if I see James Hudson in the starting lineup next year, I'm going to lose my crap. I'm going to cry me a river and get like a carton of ice cream and just sob as I see him on the field, dude. I do not want to see him. By the way, solid reps in that clip by Evan Neal, left guard. He was good.
We were right. So we screamed about that for a year and a half now. I think since this show started, our biggest thing has been Evan Neal to guard.
When we discuss, players to keep an eye on this upcoming season for our Giants, when we have that segment later on in the future in an episode, Evan Neal's, no doubt, because hey, dude, if he plays well at guard, that's a game changer.
You throw him at right guard. You got Tunyon at left, and then you got Thomas and Illuminor, or whoever wants to take that right tackle spot, because there's a few guys that could take it.
Hey,
we got a line. We have an offensive line.
Thank God. See, Gettleman, this is how you build a line. Not move Eric Flowers when he doesn't work out a tackle and he goes somewhere else, plays guard, and turns it up.
It makes no sense how they never tried Eric Flowers at guard. Why isn't that something you just give a shot to?
It's literally as simple as you don't know until you try. It's as simple as that. It's ridiculous. But yeah, dude. But man, Burns on the outside. Carter was on the inside, which was cool to see.
Yeah. I think it'd be very versatile with that. I think they're gonna change it up constantly.
They're gonna play around so much with him, man.
That's what's so great about having those three guys,
isn't it?
There's so much creativity you could do with it.
I'm so excited, dude. Like Tibbs was on the other outside part, and dude, Dex was in there. Once Dex comes back. But it's gonna be a heck of a pass rush. I'm so defense hopefully looks so good, barring just anything bad happening. But that clip was poor Russ, man. Literally maybe like a second, and he's how three guys were in his face.
Like, I hate practice because I gotta go up against. I'm gonna love these guys in a month, but damn, I hate them right now.
As soon as he took the snap, he saw three faces right there. It's like shit. Stepped up, but he knew it was gonna. It's like, thank God I'm wearing a red jersey, so I can't get hit. But yeah, just
man, Jalen Hurts is gonna be in his back a lot,
dude. Oh, Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott about to have a rude awakening to their seasons this upcoming year. Hopefully, if all goes well, man. But defense. Shane Bowen, you better not mess this up. I'm just saying.
Yep.
All right, but one more quick signing one signing that actually happened that we want to discuss quickly is J.K. Dobbins, who signs with the Denver Broncos. Shout out to him, by the way. Had a devastating injury a couple years ago. Signed a 1-year prove-it deal with the Chargers last year.
Proved
it. Oh, he sure did. But he signed another 1-year deal with the Denver Broncos. It can go up to $5.25 million. Called it a no-brainer when it came to signing with Denver, praising the quarterback, the running back room, the defense, and of course Sean Payton.
Yeah, of course, it's praised the running back room. There's no one there. It's RJ Harvey, and that's it.
And your project Estime.
I mean, Estime's there, but he's not going to be the starting back. He's going to go. He's going to become more of a blocker and like goal line type guy.
Yeah. Plus, he also praised Sean Payton, who said he knows he's going to be coached hard by. Dobbins ran for 905 yards last year in his first year off a devastating injury. Has a chip on his shoulder, according to what he says, and he's excited to face the Chargers twice, but more importantly, wants to win a championship with Denver. Definitely a 3-down back, but I think my main concern is. You mentioned Harvey, right? And they traded up for him actually in this past draft.
Devastating for your fantasy owner right now.
Yeah, because Dobbins is going to be the RB1.
Yes.
Or do you think Harvey might steal the job midway?
If I think Harvey can steal the job midway, I'm very big on Harvey. We talked about him on the Fantasy Football Show, which you can find on Belly Up YouTube after you watch this one.
Yes, sir.
But we talked about him, and he was our favorite back of all of them because we thought he was going to the best position to be the bell cow straight out. Now with J.K. Dobbins, at least for the beginning of the season, it's J.K. Dobbins' role, and it's R.J. Harvey's going to have to prove himself. I think he's good enough to, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, we saw last year with
Harvey goes from like a sleeper to like a waiver wire pickup late down the road.
Mm-hmm. Or like a stash that you just hope that.
Yeah, you grab him in the last round. You just stick him on the bench, and you hope he pops off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not great because we said the same thing about Trey Sermon a few years ago. I drafted him and stashed him on the bench, and Trey Sermon never did anything.
That was me last year with the Cardinals. Who was that running back they took last year in the draft?
I know who you're talking. I forgot.
I know. I'm losing it. Oh no. This is Nate. The fact that you can't even name the dang.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, football fans. Trey Benson. There you go.
Oh yes.
Yes, sir. I drafted him last year in fantasy, thinking that James Conner's great, but Benson's pretty good. Like he'll take the job. He never
did.
Maybe had one good week, but it was like 10 fantasy points.
Yeah.
So scary. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Dobbins did play 13 games last year, so he missed 4 games with an injury. So maybe if he does miss time again, Harvey steps in and maybe shines and maybe does take the RB1 job away. Plus, it's a 1-year deal anyway, so it's just like a.
Oh no, the future for Harvey's fine. Like if you have Harvey in Dynasty, you're gonna have to sit him on your you gotta sit him on your taxi squad for a year, but you are set. Mm-hmm. Redraft wise, Harvey had a lot of value there too, and now he just doesn't.
I just think that it's a good signing for Denver. No, I just feel
it's a great signing for Denver. It's the RJ Harvey's what's killing me. It's like, man, that was your guy.
Yeah, that one hurts a little bit. Plus, I did want to see maybe what Estime could have.
Yeah, Estime could have done something.
Yeah, in a second year. Plus, like, there's other needs they could have chased, like wide receiver. Cortland Sutton's great, but like, maybe go get yourself a veteran receiver to make things easier. Because looking at the depth chart, it's Marvin Mims, which is great, but then you have, Devon Villay, cool. Pat Bryant is someone I'm at my eye on too. Troy Funkin, who played with Bo Nix back in college. Like, these guys are great, but like, at least get yourself a veteran receiver in there. Maybe like Keenan Allen of sorts, but I digress. I guess they feel confident with the receiving room and felt they needed help in the running back room, which makes no sense because now it's Dobbins, Harvey, McLaughlin, he was okay last year, Estime, and Tyler Beatty. And like I mentioned, you traded up for Harvey, so why would you get your
I don't know. Makes no sense. Sense.
Hey, Denver has a plan. They see a 1-2 punch with Dobbins and Harvey, so be it. Let them be. Not my team. Plus, it's the AFC West, which they probably they'll make some noise, but I don't. No, they'll sneak into the play. What am I saying? They'll sneak into the playoffs. That Bo Nix is just too good. But otherwise, those are the two small NFL headlines we want to discuss real quick. Hopefully, Shemar gets his contract figured out. I feel bad for him, honestly, for him to be the guinea pig for this stupid thing. Yeah. To be the guinea pig for this new contract stuff, it's ridiculous. But
at the same time, it's also kind of good because now teams know not to do this.
Mm-hmm. They're more aware of like, okay, let's actually read the entire contract, and before we sign it, just to make sure we don't, I guess, sign something that we're not aware or yeah. So. Alrighty, my friend. This will take some time because this is another draft that we're doing, so we might as well get into it right now. Last week we did we tried to draft the best all-time Giants team, and that was fun. But this one was a bit tougher, but this also was fun in the process. We are going to draft, folks, the worst team we could make of NFL busts. This was this took a lot of time. Look, I love to say I know a lot about football, and I feel like I do, but like, holy crap, the amount of times I was doing research, I'm like, who the fudge is this?
Who's this guy?
Who's this guy? Just goes to show that I'm not really a football expert of sorts, but like, then again, I do give myself credit because you shouldn't be remembering these busts anyways, because they are called
you remember
busts
the big
for
ones.
a reason. Yeah, you remember the big ones, but like guys who maybe weren't as big of a bust but just didn't do anything when they were in the league, you can forget them or maybe not remember them at times. So this is gonna be fun. I don't know how you constructed your team. Mine was a mix of the best bust, but also guys with the best potential, but just never.
I did biggest bust, but also off the field stuff was a big part of it. Was a big factor in mine.
I'm excited to hear the guys that you can say. There's a lot of guys on my team that I could potentially draft with a lot of off the field issues, whether it's dealing with the Zaza, as they say, or car accidents or all that stuff. But
yeah.
All right, my friend. You had the first pick last week.
I think we just flip again.
Okay, right. We did a coin thing.
Coin flip's the easiest way to do it.
Yes, sir. Let me get my telephone. Let's see. But let's see. Coin. Come on, bro. Coin toss simulator. Alrighty. Just bro. Anyways. All right. See this thing right here?
Yep. Does he get an Instagram notification?
Yeah. Josh, come on, man. Not now, man. Let me put it down on disturb real quick. There we go. All right. So this is heads. So the chick is heads and the other part is tails. So we're gonna touch it.
Tails.
All right, bet. Well, if I can. Bro. Oh. Tails. All right. You get the first pick, my friend. All right.
Quarterback.
Yes, we do quarterbacks first, and we will go from there. So, first pick.
This is going to be a surprise. I'm surprised there is a 1-1 in this draft at quarterback. I'm not taking him.
Why?
Give me Johnny Manziel. That's why.
You son of. That's fun. That is fun. I love it. Why Johnny? Why Johnny, man?
Because Johnny Manziel is my favorite all-time quarterback. I think his Alabama highlights live on forever. And he was like the first quarterback I kind of fell in love with. And the fact that his NFL career just went so atrociously bad is just he's got a soft spot in my heart. If we're doing a team of busts, I need Johnny as my quarterback.
No doubt, I agree, dude. Man, if he didn't go to Cleveland, I just wonder
Dallas. He's a great quarterback. I'm telling you.
Man, they would have
because he would have cared. Is what's at least from what the Untold documentary.
Yes,
that's the vibe I got. Was if Johnny had gone to Dallas, he would have cared.
Oh yeah. With Cleveland, it was just so depressing there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Cleveland.
But going from Texas to Cleveland, it's a little culture shock.
Exactly,
no
doubt. No doubt. For me, going to Marcus Russell.
That's the 1-1. That's the 1-1.
No doubt. I was thinking between him and Ryan Leaf, low key. But Jamarcus, man, he was so talented coming out of college. Great arm, won the Sugar Bowl MVP. And signed that big contract and was the first overall pick. But this guy, he held out a training camp. He didn't sign until talk about guys that didn't sign their contracts.
Speaking of which,
he didn't sign until after the first game of the season, not the preseason, the regular season. It's crazy. And even when he played, he was so bad. Obviously, because why would he get bust if he played good? But 7 and 18 as a starter, he was so lazy. He gained a lot of weight during his time, and he just didn't work out with the Raiders. So definitely one of the not the biggest draft busts in NFL history, and is my pick at quarterback. Because honestly, if he had the right mindset, he'd be one of the best quarterbacks of the late 2000s.
I saw his highlights popped up on my TikTok feed the other day. His first drive as a Raider. I'm like, man. There was something here. That arm strength is there. It's just too bad he just did not care about being a football player at all.
Got lazy. They didn't want to do the things that you need to do to be a notable a successful NFL player, I should say. But I digress. All right, running backs. For me, I'm going with Kajana Carter, the running back by Cincinnati. Damn it, you can take him. I knew you could have taken him. But
no, I wasn't gonna. He was my second. I got a guy ahead of him.
There's ahead of him. Okay,
cool, I got a guy ahead of him.
Works out for the both of us. Kajana Carter was selected first overall by the Bengals in 1995. He blew out his knee, unfortunately, in the first preseason game ever. Missed all of his rookie season. He played 7 years in the NFL after that injury, but only had 1,144 yards. And let's be honest, that equals, if you do the math, that's about maybe 200 yards per season. And for a first overall pick, that is literally unacceptable. No, that is a bust. No doubt about it. So, but who's your pick, buddy? For
give me Lawrence Phillips, the 6th overall pick in 1996. The Rams were so high on him, they traded Jerome Bettis to the Steelers.
No.
Yes, bro. This guy, he played 15 games his rookie year, only had 632 yards, 4 touchdowns and was known to stay out in the bars till 4 a.m. before game days. Give me this guy.
Way.
Him and Johnny are a lethal 1-2 punch.
Oh, for sure. God, this is entertaining. Yeah, two guys just love to drink.
Exactly.
I love it. All right, well, let's keep on rolling, man. Let's go to receivers. Who's your first receiver off the board that we're
Give me Justin Blackmon.
Gosh, dang it. I love Blackmon, man.
Like, Blackmon, he was a guy that had so much potential. He played great. I think he had a 1,000-yard season his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. 865, I'm sorry, in 14 games starting. 5 touchdowns. But it looked like he had a bright future ahead of him, but he just couldn't stop with the off-the-field problems. Had a couple DUIs, a big partier like that. It's another sad story, but hey, as building a football team off off the field guys, Manziel, Phillips, and Blackmon are like, that's like getting Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irving right there.
It's a fever dream, man. 3 guys that had off the field.
Didn't? No, he went to OSU. I'm like, didn't Blackmon play with Manziel? No, they didn't play together. I'm like, man, can you imagine reuniting that? No, I'm thinking of Mike Evans or the other guy.
You're good. Same conference. So
yeah.
We'll give you credit for that.
No, OSU is Big Ten.
At the time?
Ohio State.
Oh, talking about Oklahoma State.
You go Oklahoma State. No, they're always in the Big 12. Texas A&M had just joined the SEC when Johnny started. It was their first season.
My apologies. Yeah, my apologies.
He might have been recruited as a Big 12 school, but it just had made the switch when Johnny started.
Makes sense. Dang it, Blackmon was one of my choices, but I'm going to go with Henry Ruggs. Dude, he was a first-round pick from Alabama. Speedster guy was going to be this amazing deep threat for the Raiders, man. He's going to be so quick and fast, and he was fast. Just in the wrong.
Oh, he was fast. All right.
Just in the wrong department, man. But even when he was on the field, he never reached more than 500 yards in a season. Didn't have more than 2 touchdowns in a season as well. So didn't really work out with the Raiders anyways when he was playing. But then he had that major car accident where he unfortunately killed a woman and her dog. Rest in peace to the both of them. And he is in jail at this time, but he is set to come eligible for parole next year.
Keep him locked up.
Keep
him locked up.
Listen,
let him rock in that jail cell.
I know, no doubt. But if he does come out,
I don't want anything to do with him.
Listen.
No. There's no listening. I don't want anything to do with this guy.
There's gonna be a team that takes a chance on a speedster.
Yeah, the UFL.
An NFL team might be desperate.
If you're desperate enough to drive Henry Ruggs, you got bigger issues to deal with.
Yeah, bigger issues. I know he's out for parole, and he probably will get out based off what I've heard before through articles. Yeah, but anyways, we'll move on. My next receiver I'll be taking. We're taking 2 receivers or 3?
3.
Gosh darn it! All right, bet. Let's hope you don't take the guys I take or I have on my list. Give me Kevin White. 2015 first-round pick from the Chicago, or that went to Chicago. Injuries killed most of his career. Had 1,447 yards in his senior season of college. So he was this big, talented prospect from West Virginia. But after 3 seasons, the Bears released him. Only had 25 catches, but more notably, the guys that were taken after him: Tyler Lockett, Devontae Parker, and Stephon Diggs. That's a bust.
Yep.
All right, who you got?
This draft is going unbelievably well for me. Give me Josh Gordon, the wide receiver.
Son of a...
Well, your nickname is Flash. Like, that's all I need to know. This is a guy that could have been, we're talking about speedy receivers. This could have been the predecessors of all of them had he not just been able to stop smoking.
That's all he needs to do was just stop being Snoop Dogg.
I think he is the one that had one of Stephen A. Smith's most iconic lines.
Stay off the weed.
I think he's the guy he's talking about. So, yeah. I mean, this guy got, permanently banned from the NFL for his substance problems with
dude.
Like, in today's NFL, he definitely does play because the laws have changed so much about it and all that different stuff. But back in 2010, it was still like a big no-no with that. Like, Laramie Tunsil fell 13 spots in the draft because of a certain video. But give me Josh Gordon. I'm in love with this team right now. This is a bunch of crazy.
This
people.
is fun. This is fun, man.
There's a line. Oh, come on, let's just keep going.
What I like is that we're not taking each other's guys. Well, not really. No. Honestly.
This is me, right?
Yes. You're taking your third receiver, I believe.
Yes, it's my third receiver. This is a hard one. Give me Peter Warrick.
Who the fudge is that?
He was drafted with the 4th overall pick in 2000. His college, he was kind of a punt returner, was never really that good. He was drafted by the Bengals, missed a lot of his season with injury. Injury was a big problem for him. Never lived up to that hype. Give me Peter Warrick.
Okay. Give me Laquan Treadwell. Finished his rookie season. First round pick, by the way, of course.
Yeah.
Finished his rookie season with 1 catch for 15 yards. And you're probably wondering, he probably only started like 1 game. No, he started 7 of them.
What's this, Kenny Galladay?
Yeah. Worst Giants bust of all time. Coming to you soon. No, but dude, Treadwell was bad, man. Second season, he caught 20 passes for 200 yards. And his third season had 35 catches, which was a career high for him, but only 302 yards and 1 touchdown. So safe to say, very underwhelming career. Didn't work out with Minnesota. I think he's free agent at this time. Of course he is. But definitely not a good start to his career with just 1 catch. And wasted a first round pick. No doubt about it by Minnesota. So he is my third receiver taken off the board. All right. Tight ends. 1 tight end. I will go with David LaFleur. Former first-team All-American, 22nd overall pick by Dallas in 1997. He was drafted to replace a all-time great at the tight end position, well, for Dallas, that is. He was also a Pro Bowler. His name was Jake Novacek. I don't know. But LaFleur never reached that level. Finished his career with only 85 catches for 729 yards and 12 touchdowns. So definitely did not live up to the hype for sure for Dallas. Who are you taking at tight end, my good sir?
So I have 2. I have 1. I don't know if he counts as a bust or not. Aaron Hernandez. Is he a bust?
They did draft him pretty high.
Drafted him high, and he did produce well in the NFL. It was just cut so quickly off.
Yeah.
I got another one. Ken McAfee is what it says.
That one would be more of a bust than Hernandez, but for the fun of this, I will. If you take Hernandez,
I'll go Ken. Okay. He was a Notre Dame boy. Supposed to be, one of the next great, Notre Dame tight ends. Drafted the 7th overall in 1978. He was a starter and only caught 22 passes and 1 touchdown. And then just kind of fell off the map from there. Injury problems. 1981 was placed on the injured reserve list and never saw a football field again.
Yeah, I heard he quit football after 2 years from what I heard. And then I guess they wanted to move him or Bill Walsh wanted to move him to guard. And then the Niners not happy about how he enrolled in medical school.
Did he become like a dentist or something? Is this the guy that became? There's one draft guy I was looking at, and he quit football and became like a world-renowned dentist.
I think it's him, because I saw a guy like that when I was doing research last night.
Yeah,
I think it was him. Yeah, I think it was him. Yeah, good for him though, make money, but
good for him.
From a football perspective, it's like, really, come on, we drafted you just to be a doctor, bro.
Yeah, really. Drafted you 7th overall. Jesus.
Yeah, no thanks. All right, buddy. Offensive tackles we move on to now. Or offensive linemen in general, but we'll start with we'll start. You want to go by tackle, guard, center, or do you want to go
just do linemen? It's just easier.
Up to you. Let's do it, my friend. Who do you got?
This might be the greatest bust in NFL history. Give me Tony Mandarich, the Green Bay offensive lineman. Considered at one point to be the greatest offensive line prospect in NFL history, was drafted 2nd overall in the 1989 draft. Which, if you don't know the 1989 draft, let me give you the top 5 for that year, shall we? Number 1 was Troy Aikman, a Hall of Famer. 2 was Mandarich, a bust. Number 3 was Barry Sanders, a Hall of Famer. Number 4 was Derek Thomas, a linebacker from Alabama, who's a Hall of Famer. And then number 5 was Deion Sanders. And I think Manny Rich had a lot of problems with like steroids were a big thing. Like when you look up NFL offensive line bust, his Wikipedia page just pops up. So I'm like, if that's not enough, there we go. Give me Tony Mandarich as my line.
By the way, about Manrich, I guess he blamed his lack of success due to painkillers.
That's what. I knew he had some substance abuse problem, so he fits right in with everybody else.
Oh, sure. For your team,
except for like Peter Warrick and Ken McAfee.
Fits the theme for you. Yeah, McAfee's the only good guy on your team.
Yeah, McAfee just like, I don't like this.
He just quit because he wanted to go to medical school. But McAfee's everyone else,
the most popular player on my team right now.
Oh man. For me, give me Mike Williams, who's also a offensive tackle.
That's a good one.
Fourth overall pick in 2002, let go in 2006 after never living up to expectations. He was drafted not only because he was good, but also he was a left-handed tackle, which equaled success apparently when he was drafted by the Bills. Was he ended up being replaced by an undrafted free agent. You might know him. His name is Jason Peters, who had quite a long career in the NFL. Was more notable for his play with the Philadelphia Eagles. But yeah, Williams out of football for 2 years, joined the Commanders. Well, they were a different name back then. After a couple seasons out in the NFL, had to lose weight because at one point he was 400 pounds, but just even with the Commanders was not good at all with them. So give me him. At the other tackle position to just get that sorted out, give me Kevin Allen. I took your guy.
It's the biggest bust in Eagles history. Of course I wanted him.
Hey, talk about your hate for Philly, man.
He fits the team so perfectly.
I know, and I'll explain why. And I hate taking him now. I feel bad. But he was drafted 9th overall by the Eagles in 1985. Had a mediocre rookie season, but he tested positive for cocaine in 1986. Not too long ago, after was arrested and charged with sexual assault. Was then banned by the NFL and lost a bid to be reinstated in 1990. So I definitely see why.
I knew all that, but I literally looked up. I was like looking up busts and like reading like team pages and stuff, and like it was some Eagles site. It was like there's no argument this man is the worst player to ever put on Philadelphia Eagles jersey. I'm like, that's my guy.
That's
right
your guy.
There.
My apologies, man.
You're good. You're good, bro. You're good.
All right, but who you got? Who you taking?
Going a little recent one here, which I don't think a lot of people know about. Isaiah Wilson of the
yes.
First round pick of the Tennessee Titans in the 2020 draft. Lots of off the field issues. I think he only started like one game in his entire NFL career. Just, he's on the practice squad for the Giants for a little bit. Just could not turn his life around. Had a lot of off the field problems. But when you're drafted that high, you have to work out.
Yeah, no doubt. That was a good pick, though, for sure.
Give me Isaiah Wilson, a guy that maybe not that big right now because he's so recent. I mean, only been 5 years ago, but for 5 years he's already out of the NFL. Like
that's a stat. Short
that's
career.
A problem.
Not good.
That's a problem.
No bueno.
And then for my next guy, give me Royce Smith. Royce Smith was he was a guard. He played 5 seasons in the NFL. Was selected 8th overall in 1972. He appeared in the most games, but was unable to get a single start as an NFL player in those 5 games. You think 8th overall, they would eventually give him like a pity start, but they did not. So give me him as my guard.
You know who was picked 5 picks after him?
Who was?
Franco Harris.
Oh!
That's a bust right there, Royce Smith. Oh yeah. All right, for me, I'm gonna fill out my guards right now to get it over with. Give me Brian Jozowiak. He was the number 7 overall pick in 1986. Did not, like Smith wasn't could not be turned into it. Well, wasn't really a good starter, I should say. He did start a few games in a short NFL run, but never had a chance to rebound from a hip injury that ended his career during the 1988 season. So, fortunately, the hip injury was just too much to overcome for him. So at the other guard position, I'm taking Alex Leatherwood. Originally was drafted to play right tackle, but was moved to guard after some failures there, but was waived prior to the 2022 season, but he was drafted in 2021. So, yeah, short career for him. He's still a free agent at this time, I believe. And yeah, that's a bust right there. First round pick. Did not work out either at tackle or guard. All right, bud. What you got?
Give me Jesse James, the center, a second-round pick in 1995, only played 2 games over 2 seasons in the NFL. That is a big-time bust. And then this is going to be tough.
Yes.
You know what?
What you got?
Give me Eric Flowers.
Oh, damn. That was a good one. I like that one.
Damn. I know he turned his career around as a guard and was a better guard, but this is a guy that was drafted to be at 9th overall, a franchise tackle for the Giants for years. Never lived up to it, was a turnstile, caught a lot of the fire of Giants fans for years. So I think just how much he's hated. I think I need a Giant on this list. Give me Eric Flowers.
Have to for sure.
And honestly, plus he spells Eric weird. He's supposed to be he's like Eric with like a K at the end of his name.
It should be ERIC or ERIK.
Like ERIC. That's how you should spell it. For some reason, it's Rick with an E in front of it.
And Rick Flowers.
It's like, okay, why are we putting so much emphasis on Rick?
Oh man, but that definitely was a notable Giants player we'll always remember for sure. That was drafted quite high for us. At center, give me Derek Harvey. To round out my offensive line, 8th overall pick in the 2008 draft. He allowed 8 career sacks in 47 games. Lost his starting job a couple of years later to a 5th round rookie. And honestly, the more notable reason why he's known as a bust is that the Jaguars traded a lot for him. They gave the 26th overall pick, 2 third-rounders, and a future 4th rounder to move into the top 10 to draft him. In addition to these picks that were traded away, they committed a 5-year, $23.8 million rookie contract to him. 72% of that deal was guaranteed. It's not as much compared to what it is these days, but at the time, $23.8 million over 5 years is quite a lot for an offensive lineman. He was an 8th overall pick, but he did not do well at all for the Jags. So give me him to round out my offensive line. All right, defense. Let's get it done. Defensive end. My first defensive end off the board is going to be Andre Wadsworth. Was taken after Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. In that specific draft, signed a 6-year, 40. Yeah, it sure was. After Peyton Manning, it was rough. 6-year, $42 million contract. Wadsworth signed, but was limited by knee maladies. Lasted only 3 years in the NFL. Only had 8 sacks. 5 of them came during his rookie season. So, yeah, did not live up to the hype as the 3rd overall pick whatsoever. But you're up.
Give me Vernon Gholston of the New York Jets, 2008 6th overall pick, had 22 sacks at Ohio State, I believe. Yes, at Ohio State. Yeah, he didn't record a single sack in the NFL over his 5 years. It's just it's yet another Jet to just not do anything in the NFL.
By the way, never had more than 20 tackles in a season.
No, he was terrible.
He was bad, man. Bad. So, all right, who's your other defensive end?
Give me Steve Entman.
Okay.
Forgot where was he drafted. He was the first overall pick in 1992. Only registered 8 sacks over his 6 years in the NFL. Barely had a hard time getting on the field. A lot of injuries. When you draft someone first overall, that's not what you want.
No, sir. So, all right, I like it. Give me to round out my defensive end position. Give me Demetrius Underwood. The Vikings took the talented lineman 29th overall in 1999, but was waived after he walked out of a training camp practice. Did deal with mental health issues, which is obviously a big issue to this day. But was a 6'6" stud who, honestly, when he played at Michigan State, even they were worried about him adjusting to the pro game, and they were right. He only played 2 NFL seasons, so That's a bust right there. So give me Underwood to pair up with Wadsworth on the edges. Defensive tackles, I'm going to start with Ted Gregory, taken with the 26th overall pick in 1988. Did not last through training camp with the Broncos during that rookie season. Was traded to the Saints for first-round defensive end Sean Knight, who also had a short NFL career himself. But as for Gregory, played just 3 NFL games, all in 1988 with a knee injury. That just ended his chances of proving the Broncos wrong. So, yeah, that is definitely a bust. All right, bud. Who do you got?
Give me Jonathan Sullivan, the 6th overall pick in 2003. He arrived in preseason at nearly 350 pounds and was inactive for the last 8 games of his career. And he was constantly getting yelled at for his poor diet and just never changed. And then he got arrested for weed.
What the heck? All right. I like it.
And then my next pick, give me Solomon Thomas, the 3rd overall pick by the Niners back in 2017. If you remember, they traded down with the Bears. Bears take Trubisky and all that stuff. He signed his deal. He tore his ACL his rookie year, and just not his rookie year in 2020, tore his ACL during his, last big year. And just, had a problem maturing, just was never able to live up to the hype he once did. Kind of a recent guy, so I figured I'd give him the pick.
I like it. All righty. Give me Mr. Who do I want? Give me Wendell Bryant. Only played 29 games over 3 seasons, recorded just 1.5 sacks. Was more notably known for a DUI charge and failed drug test in 2003, 2004, and 2005 before the Cardinals released him, and the NFL would suspend Bryant for a year after that release, I should say, and after that release by the Cardinals. My apologies. Never played again after that. The more notably, a dozen picks later, guys that were still on the board were Ed Reed and Jeremy Shockey. At the time of the pick, guys that were on the board still were Ed Reed and Jeremy Shockey, who were taking a dozen picks after. So, ouch.
Yeah.
Ed Reed is a Hall of Famer, and Jeremy Shockey was a very good tight end.
He was my tight end for the Giants draft.
And damn right, for the Giants, baby. Love it. So, all right, let's go to linebackers. Give me Mike Junkin to start my linebackers. The Browns traded up from 24 to number 5 overall to select them in 1987. Lasted just 2 years with the Browns before Schottenheimer, the coach at the time, attempted to salvage his career in Kansas City. Did not work out there either. So, trash. All right, who you got?
Give me Brian Bosworth, a guy that was so bad in the NFL. ESPN decided to make a 30 for 30 about him. He was he was in the supplemental draft in 1987, a first-round pick. Never really made it work with the Seahawks. Always struggled. I think he had some steroid issues too. He struggled with the boys persona he had, which led to substance problems. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not seeing it on Wikipedia right now, but I think he had some issues in the past with anything. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But regardless, if you have a 30 for 30 made about you about how bad of a bust you were, you deserve the a spot on my team. You're famous.
No doubt.
And then for my next pick, give me Aldon Smith, sticking with the San Francisco theme. Now, if you remember, Aldon Smith had a really big rookie year for the Niners. Looked like to be the next great Pro Bowler, but just had a lot of off the field problems. Could never stay out of trouble. Always had some sort of legal issue. That's why he is on my list.
Okay. All right, for me, give me Huey Richardson to round out my linebacker position. Yes, I need two more linebackers. My apologies. First, give me Huey Richardson, 15th overall pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He played 5 games as a rookie with them before he was traded away to Washington for just a 7th round pick in 1992. Played 11 more games in the NFL and was at camp with a few teams through 1994, but retired without making a single start. Career backup, and for a 15th overall pick, that's a problem. And then finally, give me Percy Snow. He was a decorated college linebacker and was immediate starter as a rookie, but suffered a major knee injury during a moped accident that wiped out the entire 1991 season for him. Started only once over his next 2 seasons before he's out the league. More notably, he was selected 4 picks before Emmitt Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
Very terrible. Very terrible.
All right, bud. One more linebacker, and then you have the first
corners.
Yes.
Give me Trev Alberts, a linebacker drafted 5th overall in 1994 by the Colts. Had injury problems throughout his 2 years in the league and retired after 3 seasons in the NFL. Okay. And then for corner, give me Justin Gilbert. A lot of people remember Johnny Manziel from that draft. What people forget is Justin Gilbert was the first pick the Browns had in that draft. They took him 8th overall, and very similar to our good friend Johnny, just had a hard time transitioning to the NFL. Was traded in 2016, just 2 years after he was drafted, for a 6th round pick. Spent a couple of years there, and then was violated for a year for violating the NFL substance abuse policy.
Yes, sir. What a draft for the Browns that year, huh?
Yeah, that was
what a draft.
That is a great draft because they did not nail a single pick in that year.
Well, I mean, they did get Joel Bitonio and Christian Kirksey on day 2. They were pretty good, but day 1 guys, not so much.
Right, but they also did a study to know which quarterback was the best, and Teddy Bridgewater was the answer, and they still picked Johnny Manziel.
They sure know how to pick them, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do. They certainly do.
All right, for my 2 corners here, give me one of them, Bruce Pickens, 3rd overall pick out of Nebraska. Spreader from the jump, only had 4 starts with the team that drafted him by 1990. Which was the Falcons, by the way. By 1993, 2 of the Falcons' top 3 1991 picks were off the team, which included him. Pickens did not revive his career elsewhere, so he was terrible. And another one is a recent player for once that I'm having on my team is Jeff Okudah. He is the highest drafted corner to this day. No, it's not Travis Hunter. I take that back. It's not Travis Hunter now. But at the time, Okudah was the highest drafted cornerback. Was picked 3rd overall in 2020. He is now on his 4th team now with the Minnesota Vikings. Has missed 40 games in his career to date. Could be more if I may have looked at an outdated site, and I apologize for that during my research. But more importantly, quarterbacks have a 103.8 passer rating when targeting him. So you want to get a completion? Throw his way. And by the way, Justin Jefferson, Justin Herbert, CeeDee Lamb, and Tristan Wirfs were also available.
Yeah.
And were taken later on in round 1. Nice. Yep. All right, bud. Your last corner, and then your 2 safe, and then your first pick with the safeties.
Gave me Damon Arnett for corner. A lot of people forget. It's kind of similar to Gilbert. A lot of people forget about him because of what happened with the Henry Ruggs situation. But if you remember, Arnett was the 1st round pick, 19th overall in 2020. And this guy just had a ton of legal issues. He was accused in 2021 of injuring a woman in a car crash. Then a video surfaced of him making death threats with a firearm in a video, which led to him being released by the Raiders. He had more problems with guns and driving illegally. And then in 2024, he got arrested for having methamphetamines on him.
God, he just fits the theme of your team, doesn't he, my friend?
He really does. He's really catching with the vibe. This is a terrible vibe to build around, but you know what? We won't be boring. The Giants were boring last year. We're not boring.
No, sir. You're the opposite, no doubt.
And then for my first safety, give me Kevin Ellison. He was a safety linebacker combo. He was a 6th-round pick, but he just did not. I know 6th-round picks can't be bust, but he just never could stop with the failing physicals and having just contract issues. So giving him as my first. Safeties are hard because you don't really have any major 1st-round pick guys.
He was good in college though.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, give me a bust. You're good in college, can't translate to the NFL.
Do you know what he was arrested for?
Let's see. I just had it up. He is actually unfortunately passed away in 2018.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. He was walking on Interstate 5 and was unfortunately struck by a vehicle. Arrested for possession of controlled substances in Reno Beach, California, after a bottle of Vicodin was found on him.
Fits your team well.
Yes, and then he was also arrested for arson.
Great. Yes, this is added to the list, shall we?
His defense was, God told me to do it.
Oh, for sure. Yes, the man above.
Yes, the man above told you to light that building on fire, bro.
You tell him, Kevin. You tell him, bud. Alrighty. Well,
good
for
Lord.
My safeties.
What a team.
What a team. All right, safeties. Give me Patrick Bates as my first safety. Yes. Number 12 overall pick in 1993. The former UCLA and Texas A&M product did not impress as a starter when drafted. Left the Raiders after a year to attempt a music career. Yeah, SoundCloud rapper type stuff.
I love when NFL players don't work out. They're like, I guess I'll just be a rapper now.
Yeah,
I don't think it works like that, buddy.
He did make a comeback though. Raiders would trade him to the Falcons, but that only lasted a year. He was done with football by the age of 26. So hopefully he had a good music career. Probably did not.
I bet you not.
No, sir. And then to round out my safeties, give me Rashard Anderson, was chosen 23rd overall out of Jackson State. What turned out to be a 2-year ban for substance abuse ended his career after the 2001 season. The Panthers tried to shift him to cornerback, but that did not go well, and ended up cutting him after by the time he was reinstated in 2005. So give me him to round out my safety. So. All right, bud. One last safety pick for you, and then first pick for kickers if you have one. Not sure.
I have a kicker and a punter. Give me TJ Green, the second round pick, 57th overall of 2016, drafted by the Colts. And his big issue was he could just never stay healthy. Tore his ACL and MCL in 2017. Got put on injury reserve, then was waived. Had a couple, tryouts and stuff, but a lot of teams cited he had a lack of desire. Didn't really, give it all out there. So not really a memorable NFL career. Okay. And then for kicker, again, another guy that is debatable if he's a bust or not. But when you trade up for a kicker, especially as high as the Buccaneers did for this guy, you better be automatic. So give me a Roberto Aguayo as my kicker.
You know what his nickname is, right? On a Football Reference.
What is it?
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, no, he was not.
No, sir. Worst field goal percentage, I believe.
Yeah, Roberto. Let's look at the career numbers, shall we, for Mr. Aguayo. I believe the Giants did bring him in for a workout one time.
No, we did not. Oh,
I could be mistaken.
We're dumb. We should not have done that.
Maybe we were interested because I'm not seeing. Yeah. So he attempted 31 field goals, made 22, at a 71% field goal percentage. But when you're drafted with the 59th pick in the draft, you better be lights out. Especially when they traded up. They traded up for a kicker.
And that's when you take a kicker in the second round too.
That guy better be automatic.
He better be
Justin Tucker.
Yeah, he better be good. And he was not bueno whatsoever. So, all right, give me Steve Little. The 5th overall pick in 1978 had All-American honors during a season where he made a 67-yard field goal during his time in Arkansas, which was an NCAA record. I think still is at this time, to this day. But only made 13 of his 27 field goal tries during his rookie season, I believe. The St. Louis Rams cut him midway through the 1980 season. After his release, he unfortunately broke his neck in a single-car accident hours after the news broke of his release. Unfortunately, passed away in 1999. But yeah, that is a kicker that was taken very, very high and was very inaccurate during this time in the NFL. Punter. This was tough because there's literally one punter that was a bust that I could find, and I feel bad for.
I got two. I took two. I found two.
Oh, you two? Okay.
Yeah.
Give me Russell.
Yes.
Exlabin, number 11 overall pick. Was a kicker at one point, attempted just 8 field goals as a professional, but then they moved him to a full-time punter, which was not really what you want to do with the first-round pick, but sure, whatever. Yeah, only played 5 seasons with the Saints. Did not work out whatsoever. No. So, all right, who you got?
Give me DJ Sanders, the a third round pick in 2004, 87th overall. This guy was drafted by the Packers, but a big issue with his game is he could not kick in the cold, which I feel like if you're going to be a Packer, that's kind of a big qualification. So that's why he's only spent 2 years in the league as a third round pick.
Yeah. So. All right, well, that'll do it. That is our bust draft. Our teams, well, Brian has a theme of players who like smoking weed and drinking and all that stuff, and mine is just bad.
Yeah,
just bad players.
So. My players are like, if you go to a party, these guys are here. Like, okay, this is something.
They gonna get turned. Yeah, Johnny and all them guys, man. But great.
We're gonna lose by 40 tomorrow, so might as well.
But that's all good. Let's drink it up till 4 a.m. Yeah. Oh man, that was fun. Yeah, we'll see what we do next week if we have another draft. But definitely two fun drafts these past couple of weeks, whether it's today or last week with the Giants. Good stuff, and shout out to you, man, for the idea this week. I appreciate you. All right, hey, he's back, isn't he?
What do you mean he's back?
Shout out to the clip there by SNY. Juan Soto, another home run. He is hot.
He's hot right now. Man. He's batting 275 since June started.
Whoo, he's hot.
He's got 1,000 OPS.
He's been great, man. But the Mets, man, these past couple, I know we obviously talked about them on Tuesday, but these past couple of nights, they have been red hot, whether it's Juan Soto or David Peterson pitching a heck of a game yesterday. My friend, it's all you, man. Let us know what's going on with New York, man.
Things are great in Mets land right now. Like I said, we're on the year anniversary of Grimace, and I forgot what our record was exactly, but I believe since that first pitch, I believe the Mets are like 101. Let's see. Let's pull up right now quickly on Twitter. The Mets have won like 100 games. I'm sorry, 105-60 since Grimace threw out the first pitch a year ago today. So so since then, they have been the dominant team in the MLB. But no, the vibes are great right now. Like, this Mets team is at such a point that no matter what the score is, I'm confident they're going to win the game. Like, let's go to Tuesday night. They fall 3-0 early. Mackenzie Gore is shoving. He's having a great game. By the way, great pitcher, Mackenzie Gore. Kid's got a bright future ahead of him. But I digress. The Mets, despite being down 3-0 early, they didn't stop fighting. Juan Soto had a home run to cut the lead. They always kept back. And then in that 8th inning, Starling Marte draws a big walk, steals second. Soto hits off a double to the right field, gets behind the right fielder, so Marte can score. Then Pete Alonso, the next at-bat, hits a double. He's on second, so Soto scores. And then the pitching holds in the top of the 10th inning. And then we scored on the first pitch of the 10th inning. So it's the comeback kids. It's a team that doesn't die. And then last night, David Peterson, dominance, established himself as the Mets 8, possibly making a candidacy for an all-star team. Like, I'm sitting here like Lindor, Alonso, Senga, Holmes, Peterson. You can make an argument for Soto if he keeps sitting like this. Like, the Mets might have 6 or 7 guys at Atlanta this year for the all-star team, which I think is the most Mets in my lifetime. I can't remember the last time the Mets had that. Maybe 07 was the last time that we had that many guys because of 06, but I don't really remember 07 that much. But no, this Mets, there's something special about this Mets team. I don't know what it is, but there's just this feeling that there's something different, all right? And maybe it is. Like, the Mets, I don't want to say they were a cursed franchise, but they had bad ownership. And it feels like every single time a team had to break a curse, they had to overcome something. Like the Cubs overcame a 3-1 deficit in the World Series. The Red Sox overcame a 3-0 lead against the Yankees in the ALCS to break their curse. Cleveland overcame a 3-1 win to the Warriors to break their curse. It feels like you have to have some sort of adversity to overcome it. That adversity was May of last year. Like, Mets seasons in the past could always be determined by how the team did in the first 2 months. If they were dead on June 1st, season was over. But last year was the first time they had the turnaround they did. So maybe that turnaround is our version of, coming back 3-0, coming back 3-1. That's what we exercise the demons. Like, look, just because we struggled in the first 2 months, that's not who we are. This is what Steve Cohen and David Stearns have been trying to build here for a year. And it's just a dominant baseball team. And there's more good guys on the way, whether it be Brandon Sprout, Jonah Thong, Ryan Clifford, Jet Williams, Carson Bench. There are good players coming. This is a really good team. And something very special is going to happen in Queens very soon.
All positive vibes, man. We love to see it, man. All positive vibes with the Mets. And yeah, you guys, dude, I'm giving my flowers again to Peterson, dude. I mean, you talked about him like
last night, and he was a Bulldog last night.
Heck yeah. And you talked about him a few weeks ago, how he was like the ace of this rotation, right? And that's a lot to say because you had Senga, right? He was pitching really well. I think he's pitching today.
Senga's pitching today, yes, as a 1.51 ERA. Yes, they just started about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah,
1.51 ERA entering the game, but he doesn't give you the length Peterson does. Like Senga is dominant, but he only goes 5-6 innings. Peterson, I know I get that ball. He's that old school pitcher, that bulldog mentality of I'm going 7, 8, 9.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was so happy yesterday too. You can see the reaction on his face after they got the final out. But shout out to the Mets, man. Great stuff there. This weekend, who do you guys have from
coming in this weekend in Citi Field?
Okay.
Get out there. You know what? Mets crowds have been great all year. I think we're averaging like 38,000 people a game. Get out there and be with that crowd, man, because this team is good. The Mets have 25 wins at home. They have double the amount of wins the Colorado Rockies do in general.
Dude, I don't think the Rockies haven't reached 15 wins quite yet. So.
I think they're at 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's go.
They're at 12. They're 12-55. The Mets are 25-7 at home.
Yay!
The Mets have more than double the wins the Rockies do.
Dude, Colorado is complete booty. I tell you. But dude, seriously, the Mets are a heck of a team. It's only getting hotter, man, which means that ball is gonna be flying.
It's getting hotter, and this team isn't even at its best form yet. They're 20 games above 500, and that's without our best hitter, being Juan Soto. He's doing it the past month, but now we're starting to see those numbers are starting to climbing. I think he's at like 250 batting average. Again, not where we want to be, but it's climbing. The OPS is well above where we need it to be. The home runs are coming. This guy is finally, the luck is starting to go his way for once in his career.
Whether it's the Soto shuffle coming back a little bit more often, him talking trash to Mackenzie Gore, or just hitting dingers in general.
He's got a swagger. This swagger, we saw a little bit in LA, that swagger, but that swagger is back.
Yes, sir, it is. So keep on going on, baby. Mets doing a heck of a job, and we'll see. Let's see if the hot streak continues when we come back here.
Yes, 5-game winning streak. Looking for back-to-back sweeps today.
Let's keep it going, baby. Let's keep it going. Love to see it. All right, finally, to round out the show before we get to our pickle game, Game 3 of the NBA Finals took place on Wednesday, and the Indiana Pacers, baby, continue to shock the world. 116-107, they took Game 3 from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Role players are definitely, or when it comes to big games like this, role players are a big factor, and we've seen it all series long. Game 2, we saw it with the Thunder with guys like Alex Caruso.
Yes.
And
which is such a great trade for them.
Trade. Oh yeah, he's been phenomenal. Just a solid guy who will just do the I guess kind of do the dirty work per se.
Yes.
Not really a point scorer, but in Game 2 he was scoring and getting his assists and all those things. And Aaron Wiggins was also another player that did well for the Thunder in Game 2. But Game 3, man, hey, talk about role player. Benedict Mathurin for Indiana, 27 points off the bench for the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton did his job as well. 22, 11, and 9 rebounds, I should say. And the Pacers, yeah, they got the job done. Pascal Siakam, by the way, had 21 points. And yeah, Indiana, bench points, 49 to 18 advantage in that category over OKC in Game 3. And the Pacers are now 10-0 since mid-March in a game immediately following a loss. So yeah, these guys do not lose back-to-back games. If they lose, they bounce right back up after, or the next game, I should say. So, quick thoughts on that real quick, my friend. I mean, I know we don't talk basketball too much on this show,
no,
but...
I mean, this is a game the Thunder just came out flat. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the moment. Maybe it was the crowd not being on their side. The team is really young. We forget that. They're only 20. They average like 23 years old, I think, is on that team. This was a bad game. They had really bad turnovers. They committed 19 turnovers last night. That led to 21 points for the Pacers. I said it when the Knicks played the Pacers. You cannot lose the turnover battle to the Pacers because they make you pay, and they made them pay last night. 21. If they get half of the turnovers they do, and at least half the points, the Thunder win the game.
Yes, sir.
So you cannot turn the ball over against this team. That's what I think they had like 3 turnovers off inbounds. Like that cannot happen in any. I don't care if it's a regular season game. You cannot be turning the ball over on inbound passes. But in arguably the biggest game of the year for you guys, a game that felt like whoever wins is probably going to end up taking the series.
Yes, sir.
You can't do that. So the Thunder, man, they're against the wall right now, and they've responded all postseason. Let's see how they do in a hostile environment like Indiana.
In the previous 41 NBA Finals that were tied at a game apiece, the Game 3 winner went on to hoist the trophy 33 times, which is a whopping 80.5%. So Indiana has the advantage.
The only thing they could do is if the Thunder win and win dominating fashion Game 4, it's a best of 3 series with 2 games in Oklahoma City.
Yes, sir.
It would be a repeat of what they did against the Nuggets. That's the one thing that if you're a Thunder fan, you have to take some solace in is, hey, we've been here before.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
do it again.
Yes, sir. By the way, another role player that did well yesterday, TJ McConnell, first player ever since stats were tracked to have at least 10 points, 5 assists, and 5 steals off the bench in an NBA Finals game. If Indiana takes Game 4, the series is over.
It's over.
No doubt.
Point. They take Game 4,
sir.
And then we're gonna have to start talking about where does Halliburton rank among best players in the league? Because his stat lines aren't always the prettiest, but he always has the most impactful shot.
Yes, sir.
I think in Game 1 he only had 14 points.
Yes,
but
sir.
He made the game-winning shot with 0.3 seconds left. So
who
cares what his stat line was? He's hitting these clutch. He's arguably the clutchest player in the league. I don't know how that translates to where he ranks among the best in the game.
Oh, definitely. I put him in the top 30 list for sure. But in terms of clutchness, man, he has to be a top 5 clutch player.
But if he wins a title, is he top 15?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I think because he's an all-around guy. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. There's 15 guys.
It's tough. That's what I'm saying. It's a conversation we have to have. Where do we put this guy? Because he's average. He's average in most games, and he can't put up good stats. But his clutch factor is just so high.
And he's impactful. When he's aggressive, it may not translate to points on his end, but when he's aggressive, opens up everything else for his teammates and stuff. So you have to take that into effect too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. But Pacers up 2-1 in the series. Game 4 is on Friday. Game 4 is on Friday.
Thank God.
And then I know, dude. I mean, I get the 3-game stretch between Game 2 and 3, but Games 1 and 2 is a 2-day layoff. Game 2 and 3 makes sense
because they're traveling. Let them. I know they're in the same time zone, but hey, let them settle in and let them go play.
Yeah, but Game 1 and Game 2 was a 2-day stretch.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Come on, guys. But yeah, overall, we'll see what happens in Game 4. I think by the time we come back, Games 4 and 5 will be played. So we'll see what happens. Right.
So the series could be over.
It could be over by.
We could have a champion on Tuesday.
You're damn right. So we shall see.
Yep.
All right, buddy. That'll do it.
NHL tonight, by the way, Stanley Cup Game 4. Panthers. Oilers need this win. If Oilers lose tonight, it's over.
Oilers because the Panthers up 2-1.
So. Panthers up 2-1 in Florida's Florida's home building. If it's what we saw on Monday night, it's a problem for the Oilers. It might be a wrap.
Yeah, because when you're down 3-1.
Panthers at 6, looking pretty good right now. Just saying. I'm the only one that took Panthers on the Super Show.
What did I take? And I took the Oilers because for Canada. Gosh dang it, guys. All right, my friend. Let's go to Pickle. Who's going to be our first?
Peterson, the guy, he earned it last night.
He sure did, baby. 9 innings. All righty. So he's a lefty.
Oh, my God. Okay.
That's great. That's
an American lefty who's 29 years old.
Okay. So either AL East
or NL Central or West.
I'm going to go Max Fried.
Ew.
I know what it is.
Give me Cody Bellinger.
Okay, we're done. Bye. All right, Cool. Nice job. All right, Cody Bellinger, good job. Woohoo! All right. Well, when it comes to Yankee sports, we want to just move forward as fast as we can.
It's funny, like, the team I know the second, like, the Mets are the team I know the most about, and, like, the second is the New York Yankees, because just, like, I'm just around them enough.
Yeah, because they're, and also they're in New York.
All the content I consume is, like, New York sports content.
That's
so, like,
all it is,
we're talking Mets, we're also going to talk, we have to talk Yankees.
You're damn right. So, easy pickings there in terms of the I think that's probably one of the fastest pickles we ever done.
Yeah, it was only 3, and as soon Bellinger was going to be, if I had the second, Bellinger was going to be the guy I picked. So I'm like, I think Bellinger's 29.
Plus the fact that even though it took three guesses, the time it took to make those 3 guesses was quick. Probably less than 30 seconds. So we'll take it. All right, folks. Well, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, we appreciate it. We had a lot of fun today. We talked about the signings of J.K. Dobbins and the unsignings of Shamar Stewart. By the way, quick update. If he holds out for the entirety of this season, he can re-enter the 2026 NFL draft and be drafted by a different team. So we'll see what happens.
I wonder if that's ever happened before.
That has not.
The Bengals are better tread lightly then.
Yeah, Cincinnati. It's a mess.
This could be a major issue if he goes to that draft.
Dude, because it's like they wasted a first-round pick on him.
And
they
don't
don't
think he's going to be a first-round talent next year?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I know he's a little older. He might fall a little later. Might be like a second-round guy. But you tell me a team won't take a flyer on him?
Yeah, and the Bengals will not get compensation, by the way, if he's drafted by someone else. Good. So you better figure it out. You have 2 months before the season starts.
Yep, time's ticking.
But thank you for watching, guys. We appreciate it. You can follow us on social media. You can follow me at Nathan_Nguyen24. You can follow Brian at BrianPG1016 on Twitter. And you can follow our podcast page, 310 Pod, on the Instagram, on the Twitter, on the TikTok, and also our YouTube page as well. And you can find our article work plus our other amazing writers and other podcasts of the company at bellyupsports.com. We will see you guys on Tuesday for more Giants news or NFL news or we'll see what happens with these, within these next 5 days. Like Brian mentioned, we could see an NBA champion by the time we come back, or, maybe something else will happen. Who knows? We'll find out. We'll see what the sports world has for us by Tuesday. But for Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.